Jesus told a parable one day, a parable about a farmer who seemed to have very large hands that looked like oven mitts. Early in the morning, he went down to the village to see if he could hire anybody to work in his vineyard. It's a village with big windows. Yes, it was early in the morning, but there were workers with oven mitts on, and they were waiting to be hired. So they agreed to go with the farmer into the vineyard to work all day long. Even this guy, who had a really weird haircut and glasses.
1,200 years too early.
The farmer agreed to pay the normal daily wage. So they agreed. It was about 6 o'clock in the morning. Here is his vineyard with lots of grapes, some here too. Well, the workers showed up and they got to work right away. Don't forget I have hair. The farmer said, I'll be right back. He went back to the village with big windows and he saw people standing around. A guy with a French beret, a girl named Sally Jenkins, and a really tall guy named Ed. He said, hey, if you guys are just standing around, why don't you come work in my vineyard for the day? It's right over there on this hill, see? Grapes. Yeah, they said, we'd love to do that. It was 9 o'clock in the morning. So now there were more workers in his vineyard. There was Ed, the big tall guy, Sally Jenkins, and the guy with the French beret. And the farmer, who's not a ghost, I just got lazy and used an eraser earlier. Well, the farmer, he said, hey, why don't you wait here? I'm going to be right back. So he went into the village, and he found some more workers, a guy with block feet and a man with extremely long arms. He said, hey, look over there. It's a vineyard. It's mine. Would you like to come work in it? They said, sure, we'd love to. It was 12 o'clock when these guys joined. He did the same thing at 3 o'clock, and he even invited more people at 5 o'clock. The key to this parable is right here. When the farmer talks to the people that he hires last. He asks them, how come you haven't been working all day? And they answered, because nobody hired us. It seems that they were overlooked, that other farmers thought they were unworthy. Now the vineyard was filled with all kinds of people with long arms and block shoes, and they worked all day in the blazing sun. At the end of the day, the farmer got everybody together, the guy with the glasses, big tall Ed, Susie Jenkins, French beret, long arms, and block shoes, and said, hey, thank you. Here is your wages for the day. Then, starting with the last first, he gave them their wage, and it was a full day's wage. The second group, he gave them a full day's wage as well. And then those who had worked all day long, they got a full day's wage. So everybody got paid exactly the same. Well, the workers who had been there since 6 o'clock in the morning, working in the vineyard all day in the scorching sun, they came up to the farmer and said, that's not fair. How come we're getting paid the same as somebody who only worked for 1 hour at the end of the day? The farmer said that he was being fair by paying the wage that was agreed to the people who had worked all day long, and that he was showing kindness by giving a good wage to the people who had come at the last minute. And because he was the farmer, he said that it was his right to be able to show kindness to people. This parable is all about how the farmer, who represents Jesus, has great love for his people, and he is going out into all the world and he is inviting people to be a part of his kingdom. And even the ones who have been called unworthy, well, Jesus is the one who is reaching out to be with them. He's inviting them to be a part of his kingdom because he is kind and because he has great compassion and love.